Okay, hello everyone. After a couple hours for whatever reason, my PayPal wasn't working, so I ended up purchasing a digital PlayStation Network code in order to play Corpse Party Blood Drive. So this is the full sequel to Corpse Party Blood Covered Repeated Fear. And it starts off where we last left off in Book of Shadows, where Ayumi and Naomi they discovered the Book of Shadows and a spell to conjure their lost friends that have died in Heavenly Host. Since the book was not written in Japanese, Ayumi decided to ignore any possible warnings about using forbidden magic. Because what could go wrong? Apparently quite a bit when you dabble in necromancy. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. I do want to let you know that I have actually played this game. It was the Japanese version though. And my Japanese last year, when this came out, I played it, was worse than it is now. And now I'm better, but not fluent or anything. So with that being said, you may hear me being like, I get it. I'm very much gonna try my best not to spoil anything, but I may accidentally slip something as something like just becomes apparent as like, oh, that makes sense, that kind of thing. Okay, enough about that. Let's start. Okay, sorry, I had to press a button. And you're going to see that loading screen an awful lot. It had been 2 months since the Book of Shadows incident. I'd been critically wounded by the blowback from the sorcery I'd involved myself with, but Nakashima was there to carry me out from the crumbling Shinozaki estate. Yeah, if you've forgotten, Ayumi was pretty much, she had a saw blade almost going through her neck, went through her arms and legs, so she was severely injured, whereas Naomi wasn't as hurt yet. The two of us were picked up on the side of the old mountain road and rushed to a hospital, where I was restored to stable condition. The grimoire responsible for so much of the horror everyone had been through, the Book of Shadows, was buried in the rubble of the estate when its roof collapsed. Hard to believe that over 2 months had passed since the fall of Heavenly Host Elementary, since the 5 of us were returned safely to the real world. Okay, so it does seem like they have gone online to warn about this, the Ever After Sachiko curse. And it seems some students wanted to give it a shot anyway. Okay, I have it turned down, so I don't know if she's talking. After Sachiko vanished from the closed spaces, the effects of Sachiko Ever After vanished from the world along with her. Okay, I'm sorry. She is talking. I'm sorry. My TV, I keep it low so my microphone doesn't pick up the sound from the TV. Here, let me just turn it a bit. So that way my voice will be picked up and maybe not so much the TV will. It's still picking up sound. God.
Shinozaki.
心の底から分かり合えるのは5人だけ。存在の消えた4人のことを共有できるから。
Her narration is very, very quiet.
おかえり。退院おめでとう。
おお、篠崎、やっと出てきたか。
The artwork looks a little better in this version.
篠崎、おかえり。
ありがとう。
Like, it's still for the most part the same, but it looks nicer.
ありがとうゆかちゃん。大丈夫よ。おかえり、委員長。中島さん。この時、私はまだ知らなかった。全人称のあった多重閉鎖空間どころではない。現実のこの世界。 幸せのタッチ。みんなおまじない好きだよね。またなんか新しいの仕入れなきゃ。ママ、今日は早番だといいな。お腹空いちゃった。
Ah, so it seems there's a new consequence now.
変死事件がまた起こりました。死亡した中学生の佐久間凛さんは背骨が折れた状態で発見されており、
まったく転んだ拍子に落ちていた刃物でああも大怪我するなんて、一体何をしていたの、あゆみ。日の絵みたいにまた幽霊がどうのとかオカルトまがいなことをしてるんじゃないでしょうね。
ほっといてよ。
もういつものこととはいえ、日の絵もどこへ行っているのやら。うちの娘たちは親に心配ばかりかけて。
Oh, she doesn't know her other daughter is dead. A massive earthquake rippled through the basement of the Shinozaki estate, leaving it teetering on the edge of collapse. Worse still, the whole place was in flames. Hinoe's lifeless body appeared as if shimmering in the firelight's red glinting off of red around the edges. red glinting off of red around the edges of the blades that were rapidly sluicing her flesh. They danced around and through her almost whimsically, prompting unnatural gyrations throughout her body without ever letting her so much as touch the ground. I grabbed onto Hinoe's body in a vain attempt to pull her to safety. But Hinoe used what little strength she had left to push me back.
あゆみちゃん生きるのよ。お姉ちゃんはいつもあなたの心の中にいますよ。
I could distinctly hear these words in the back of my head, spoken in a soft, soothing voice. It was short-lived, however, as the ceiling suddenly became webbed with cracks and fissures, and a massive beam fell from above, crushing her upper body entirely. With this, I shot to my feet and began running in circles, screaming uncontrollably. I would have run right into the rapidly spreading fire if Naomi hadn't caught me. My hands and feet were covered in red bruises and cuts from the swarm of blades that my spell had summoned. Naomi was bleeding as well, but nowhere near as badly.
ダメ、委員長、逃げるのよ。離してよ。離して。
失われたみんなの存在を取り戻すため、篠崎幸子と天神症の呪い、その根源を追う私と中島さんの前に取り壊され、この世に存在しないはずの篠崎よしえと幸子の成果が現れた。その地下にあった古代の本、ブック・オブ・シャドウズで黒魔術を試した私は。
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
場所が分かったのかは知れないけれど、飛び込んできたお姉ちゃんが私をかばって。
Sorry to... This inevitably led to the worst nightmare of them all. I was attacked from all sides, uncertain what was real and what was not. The wounds I endured should have been fatal.
夢かうつつかもわからない恐ろしい事態に襲われて瀕死の重傷を負ってしまったのだ。
I'm sorry, sometimes I accidentally press the shoulder buttons and that causes it to skip.
結局私は何もできず、ただ犠牲を増やしただけだった。
私の犠牲者じゃない。私なんか
いいぞ、死ね死ね死ね。なんだよ、やめるなよ。そのまま死ねよ。
With one shoe on my desk and sporting a rare open-mouthed version of a shit-eating grin, a boy wearing a black parka was just somehow there in my room without explanation.
死んでくやつが俺の名前なんて興味ねえだろ。嘘ばっかだな、お前の反応。それが嘘だろって言ってんだよ。本心はどこだ、クソも。殺したいんじゃなくて助けたいんだよ。苦しんでるてめえをよ。八つ当たりしてねえで動けや、まったり。誰も助けちゃくれねえぞ。
誰よ。何なのよ。何しに来たのよ。
誰でもねえさ。嘘ついたまま本当に終わっちまっちゃつまんねえぞ。
Without a word, he motioned for me to put my hand out and unceremoniously plopped a piece of 10-yen gum into it. The boy smiled with a cold yet oddly kind expression, then finally took his leave by jumping out the window. All I could do was stand there and sob.
Shinozaki の家はこっちだったよな。変わった格好のやつだな。
天神賞も崩壊し消え去った今、罪滅ぼしに私に何ができるのだろう。
サトシ、お前今日弁当だよな。屋上で食おうぜ。
ああ、そうだな。今日は天気も良さそうだし、行くか。おお、すごい空だな。雲が全然ない。
秋晴れだな。
この辺で食べよう。しかしなんか妙に軽いな、弁当箱。よしき、今日はなんだ？
時間あったから揚げ物にした。
相変わらず何でも作れるな、お前は。俺んちは昨日の残り物とかだよ、多分。
いいじゃねえかよ、この幸せもんが。
そうなのか？
Oh, they didn't spell something right.
母さん。
あら、こんなところでご飯なの？今日は晴れてるし、一層美味しく食べられそうね。
あ、確か庭クオン先生だっけ。
This was our class's TA, Miss Kuo Niwa, age 24. She was an English teacher with white hair, blue eyes, and a soft, delicate voice.
クラスメートの話によると、俺たちが天神小学校から戻った時からちょうど半年前にこの学校に赴任してきた先生らしい。俺たちにその記憶がない。
Yeah, so she took the place of Miss Yui.
俺たちのいた世界でユイ先生と別の先生がその立ち位置だったんだ。だからこのクオン先生には悪いけど、天神小学校から生還した俺たちのみんなこの事実に違和感を感じていた。
サトシ君、ご飯がないの？何が食べたい？
え？
好きな食べ物は？
カツ丼？
からかわれたんだよ。
I'm not hearing any voices, so I'm gonna say it. Okay, but you should probably hurry it up. I mean, lunch has already started, so I doubt they have a whole lot left at this point. Oh crap, you're right. Okay, wait right here, I'll be back. Hold this circle button while moving to sprint. Sprinting gradually drains your stamina, and if you run out completely, you won't be able to move again for a short time. Your stamina will recover whenever you're not sprinting, however, so be sure to slow down every now and again. I didn't make it.
仕方ねえな。俺のエビフライ一本やるよ。ほれ。
My eyes shone upon meeting those of the magnificent golden fried shrimp.
本当か？悪いな。
Oh god. Oh, this is hella gay.
持田聡様ですね。
え？俺？はい、そうですけど。
お食事をお持ちいたしました。
The man in black handed over a lacquer box containing pork cutlet on rice with egg, picture perfect in every way. It was my favorite meal, down to the last detail. Yoshiki, utterly dumbfounded, loosened his grip on the fried shrimp he was holding. It plummeted to the ground, defeated by this new contender. The classroom glowed with the golden hue of twilight, but my gaze was fixed at the floor. It must have been obvious to Nakashima that I had a lot on my mind. She asked this as she sat down at the desk in front of me, facing backward. She was trying to comfort me. But she had dark circles around her eyes, too. She and I must have looked very similar to one another, from an outside perspective. My left hand was still wrapped in bandages. It throbbed incessantly, reminding me of the previous night's events. I ignored it as best as I could and forced an empty smile. I couldn't bring myself to answer that. I just flashed another smile, a confusing one that must have looked very strange to her, and left the classroom.
今出て行ったの篠崎か。
ナオミ、どうしたんだ？
委員長、なんだか思い詰めてるみたい。私たちでフォローしてあげた方がいいかも。
お前もだよ、ナオミ。無理していないか？
大丈夫。辛いのは私だけじゃないし、私一人甘えてられないもの。委員長、変な気起こさなきゃいいけど。
As I walked, I thought back to my time in the hospital. I was lying in bed, arms and legs virtually mummified in bandages, when a woman with flowers came in to see me.
そっくりですね、お姉ちゃんと。私は山村未来。あなたのお姉ちゃん、日野江と共にウィッカインスティテュートという精霊崇拝組合に所属しているものです。
お姉ちゃんが。
はい。これはお見舞いです。
As she said this, she placed a bouquet of flowers on the small table by the bed and looked around the room with a curious expression on her face.
ご両親は今いらっしゃらない？
お買い物に行っています。
お父さんもお母さんもまだ知らないのですよね。日の絵の死を。 女が命を落としたあの日、あなたを追って旧篠崎家跡地へ向かう前に、日の絵は私に最後の連絡をくれていました。
姉ちゃんが
きっと自分の運命を理解して、そして受け入れていたのね。精霊は人の死期を教えてくれるの。その分できる精一杯の行動と覚悟が持てる。彼女は立派だったわ。
Tears began to pour from my eyes, and I could do nothing to stop them. I had been sitting up in bed, but unconsciously started to curl into a fetal position as best as I could with the bandages. Yamamura put her hand on my back to comfort me.
Ayumi ちゃん、日の絵の意志を伝えるわ。黒の本、ブック・オブ・シャドウズを取り戻しなさい。代々篠崎家が守り続けてきた門外不出の禁忌の書よ。あの本が心ない者の手に渡れば、この世は混乱の淵に落とされてしまう。私たち WI は精霊と心を通わせる自然の意志にただ沿おうとする白魔女の組合。ご両親の反対を押し切って篠崎家から飛び出した日の絵は、今さら関わるのをためらっていたのだけれど、近年その存在を感じるようになってずっと気にしていたの。私とウィッカの仲間で調べたけれど、篠崎義恵と幸子の屋敷跡地にはなかったわ。更地だったはずのあの場所に焼け焦げた家の梁や瓦礫が現れていて驚いたけれど、あの場所からは消えても感じるの。存在はまだ残っている。この世のどこかに。
Yamamura looked directly into my eyes.
この町にあなたや篠崎義恵と同じ篠崎家の血筋の方が住んでいたのは知っているかしら。
Yamamura pulled a notepad from her pocket and carefully wrote a name and address on the top sheet. She then tore the page and handed it to me. Makina Shinozaki. I knew that name. It was on the family tree. Yeah.
覚えている名前だわ。義恵の家の地下室にあった篠崎の家系図。義恵の上に並んでいた彼女の母の妹、おばにあたる人。
Okay. Looks like she didn't have any children.
その牧野さんの家に行けば、何か黒の本を取り戻すための手がかりが残されているかもしれない。私たちは霊に対する感受性が強すぎて部屋に入ることもできなかったわ。何が起こるかわからないけれど、日の絵の意志を継ぐ強さがあるのなら頑張ってみなさい。
And with that, Yamamura simply turned and left the hospital room. On the other side of the door, a peculiar girl stood in wait. As soon as Yamamura had covered enough distance to put me out of earshot, the two of them spoke.
ご苦労様。
これでいいのね。
お前らが息をしているだけでこっちは虫唾が走るんだ。殺さないでやるからさっさと消え失せろ。
Yamamura ran away as quickly as she could without drawing attention to herself. As if in response, the intimidating girl in the peculiar outfit spat on the hospital wall.
世の中アホばっかり。
As she mumbled these words, she sneaked a sidelong glance at me in my room. I was completely oblivious.